Hey there, so my name is Leo, and if you're watching this, maybe we have an appointment. And this video is a little more in-depth because I really want you to understand the market, how the market works, and how your decisions can impact the market in a positive or a negative way, right? That's really important to know because especially when it comes to pricing the property, a lot of sellers just don't understand how to do it and what it's based on. Some sellers obviously make a mistake basing the property and they'll price the property based on what they need, I don't know, to retire on, maybe for the next property. Maybe they need to pay some debt off, and the market really doesn't work like that, right? The market only looks at what has sold and what has pending, and that is similar to your property and geographically in the same locations. For example, if your home that's sold with no view of the ocean, same size, and there's one that's sold with obviously an ocean view, that one would have a higher price, higher demand, and obviously those things really make a difference, right? Same thing if you have some kind of a view, as far as your backyard, and the other backyard maybe has a slope. The one with the backyard with a view will probably have a little more value for many, many people. So I just want you to understand that what you need for the house, what you need to pay off your debt, what you need to maybe to buy a next house, and whatever else need you have has no bearing on the market. The market is only going to give you what the borrowing can do. Now, we obviously have tools and to implement to make sure you get the absolute maximum value for the property, right? And we'll talk to you about it at the meeting. But I really need you to understand that, because what our tools do, let me show you a little bit of a graph here. So as you can see, this is a very important graph, and this is the market. This is actually what happens when your home hits the market, right? And as you can see here, I'm going to try to get myself out of the way. This is, on the bottom is a timeline. Hopefully you can follow me, right? This is a timeline, and up and down, basically, vertically is the price and value. So as you can see, as soon as your home hits the market, almost immediately, you're going to be exposed to everyone in the buyer pool, because you have to understand, we don't need to wait for a buyer. The buyer's already there in the pool, and you just need to bring them to you so they can buy. Because ultimately what happens, and by the way, this curve itself, the curvature changes. Sometimes it gets narrower and sometimes a little wider based on the market. But as I'm recording this, the market's pretty much 50-50. There's a bit of a standoff between the sellers and the buyers because buyers really can't afford properties. It's very expensive. The rates are very expensive. And this phenomenon doesnwill matter if you're selling a home that's over, let's say, $4 or $5 million, because a lot of them are cash. But if you are below that, it does matter, because most people will be buying and will get some kind of credit. So the market, as you already know, already fluctuates based on many things. Let me bring myself back really here. The market fluctuates based on many things, right? Economics, interest rates were really important, geopolitics. So there's many, many things that influence the market. So our job is to find the absolute best positioning for your property and strategically position it to bring in as many buyers as we can to your property so we can get the deal done quickly, because time does kill deals and time kills value. In fact, if you look at this graph right here, right, as soon as you put the home on the market, within a week, you have maximum capacity, meaning everybody who wants to buy a home like yours already knows about it, and they will be there to see it, because nobody wants to miss on something new, right? As time passes by, as you can see, week 2 or 3, we have a reduction in activity interest, because there's an old saying, right? And this is social psychology, consumer psychology. Everybody wants what everybody else wants, and everybody wants what others can't have. It's just the way we work as human beings, right? Scarcity, all those things push the price up. So what happens is, after you're in a market for 2 weeks and 3 weeks, what happens is people assume that there's something wrong with the property, because information now, like how many days in the market, how many times there's been price reduction, it's available for every person looking for a house. It's at their fingertips. They can go to Zillow, they can go to Redfin, they can go to other places that provide the information, like Realtor.com, Homes.com. All this information is there. Now, 20 years ago, 20 years ago, it was not there. But probably the last 15, 18 years, this information is available. The problem is a lot of agents are not understanding how they change dynamics, and they're still kind of using the old play rule book. Put the home on the market, see what happens, let people show it one by one, and see how, if we can sell it or not. The problem is for you, as you can see here, the longer you stay in the market right here, right, that line on top, as you can see really well, it goes down and down and down. What that means is not only your perceived value drops, but also your actual value, because the home is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. That's the bottom line, right? So the way we use our system, and we have other options as well, but the way we use the weekend sales, we make sure that everybody comes in at the same time. We funnel all the buyers in at the same time, and we funnel them in within the first weekend. So the home is fresh in the market, only a few days in the market. Not only does that enhance interest and buyer competitiveness, right? Buyers become more competitive when they know other buyers want it. But it also creates scarcity because there's only one of your home. And what that does is actually pushes the price up. So it's really important to price the home correctly from the get-go. A lot of people think this is going to work even if the price, whatever price it lists at. No, you have to list the home correctly. And I'll guide you to that. We want to look at what has recently sold that's similar to yours and what is pending with similar features and benefits as far as the property goes. What's currently in the market, that's been in the market for over 2 weeks, is really not a contender because it might be a competition, but if it hasn't sold, in my view, it has failed to bring the market to it. So our process brings the market to you so you can actually make the deal happen. But like, as you can see, the time kills value, right? So as soon as your home goes in the market, within 2, 3, 4 days, your property value starts to drop. And your home at this point is a commodity. So sometimes I look at it as, if you look at Nordstrom's, and let's say Nordstrom's Rack or Marshall's, right? What's the real difference? Well, people that come to Nordstrom's, they come for brand new stuff, they're excited about it, whatever, luxury item they're buying. But what happens is if that item does not sell and sits on a shelf too long, that item gets discounted and put into a different store, maybe Nordstrom's Rack. Really no difference between the item, but the perception has changed. Now, Nordstrom's has people who are coming in and they're willing to pay higher prices. They're willing to pay the full value. And people who come, or let's say Nordstrom's Rack attracts, or Marshall's for same be it, usually are bargain hunters, right? And we don't want those people for your house. So the last thing we want to do is price it and then have to chase the market down. We don't want to do that. And what our system, the N72, does, and you can click on the link and kind of read more about it, it allows the market to chase us. So we have so much demand that the price finds its point. But it's very important to price it correctly right away. So it's just another chart showing the same thing. Even before week 1, we were at peak potential of getting you the top price. And what happens if you don't? Well, I'm going to show you some things here. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger here for you. But I want you to really see this. This is what I call failed listing. People did not price this correctly. This one here, they priced it originally at $1,599,000, 1.6. As you can see, it closed at $1 million. It's right here, right? So this is what happens when you do things incorrectly. It was in a market for 73 days. Time kills value. I want to avoid that, and hopefully you will follow me to do that as well. It doesn't matter if the home is expensive or not. As you can see, this one here, 179 days in the market, right? Did they really think that things are going to go up? So originally they priced at 605 and it closed at 522. For this house, almost 100,000 is huge. Percentage is huge. Another one here, as you can see, originally they were priced at 1,491.5, and it closed at 1,150,000, 126 days in the market. So I mean, this is continued. I pull them every now and then when I have time. But I just want you to see, this is, it doesn't matter what strata you're in, what price point, it happens all the time. So originally this one was $850, let's say, and then after 20 days, somebody really screwed this one, was at 700,000. So I think I showed you enough, right? I think you have an idea of what's going on. This is another one. I think this might be some Marcos as well. Price of $1,150,000 and sold for $1,060,000. So it's really important for you to understand that pricing is crucial. I mean, literally crucial to get things done right. So again, what you owe for the property, what you need for the property, out of the property, what you need to retire on, what you need to buy your next house, all those things really don't matter. This is not a good way to make your calculations. So that's all I want to teach you, and hopefully this was helpful. And If you have any questions, save them for our meeting. Bye-bye.